Okay, hello everybody and welcome to the Calyx Demo, a new demo that's come out on Steam. Calyx seems to be a new take on the sort of tower defense genre, where we've got to build defenses before the Calyx, a kind of organic matter that is wanting to basically destroy us and take over the planet, reaches our base. We've got to use our weaponry to get rid of it, and we can also pause the game if we want to. The whole idea behind this is we are here to harvest this ore. We've been kind of sent across the galaxy. We're trying to mine out this ore to be sent back home in order to be used for you know, various industrial needs, you know, the needs of the nation, etc., or whoever is in charge. We don't really care. The main thing is it's going to get us money. So we set up these miners and they go and mine for us. We have these little tanks here that we can use to keep away the Calyx. The Calyx, it comes from these little plants here, and you can see that it kind of comes out. It starts almost like a sort of like a little fungusy growth. Then as things goes on, it'll start to spurt into like branches and larger sort of plant growths from there. So we're going to have to keep a little eye on it. At least in this level here, there's two different kinds. We've got the two green ones here, and then we've got this kind of pinkish one that we've got to worry about as well. So we'll have to keep a little eye on it. We're actually out of power now, so we're going to make ourselves a couple of solar panels in order to use for power, and we'll connect them up to our power grid. Now we've got to be a little bit careful because this power grid does use credits in order to use, or in order to build, sorry. So we've got to be a little bit easy with our credits. To cost 60 per solar panel, at least for the beginning, and we have no way of making credits until we start sending things up. Let's make sure that we're nice and unpaused as well. I think I've been playing too much Creeper World is the issue, so I keep pausing the game trying to deselect a unit. And that's kind of what this game reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of something akin to Creeper World or something like that. It's very much kind of like just your usual kind of, or not usual, your real-time tower defense game, which I am quite a fan of, to be perfectly honest. I do quite like these kind of games. Now, unfortunately, these miners here, they are not factorial miners. They are only mining the amount of resources directly underneath them, which does mean that if we don't cover this whole patch, we will lose some of it. So we have to be a little bit careful of our placement. And we can see here, the Calyx is already starting to expand rather rapidly, so we'll have to keep a little eye on it. But we nearly have the 300 ore that we need to build this small ore transport, so let's get that done. We'll put that out over here. It doesn't matter about sort of moving the actual ore itself. That happens automatically. We don't have like ore collectors or ore transports that we need to worry about. It's just kind of done automatically. It does take up a lot of power though, so we'll have to keep a little eye on it. We're going to move up our light tanks here just to try and push out this area here. We're going to worry a little bit about these trees. They do actually cover up our ability to shoot, so we'll come out here a little bit. We're not going to be able to push into this particularly well because we'll not have any way of taking out these branches. We'll have to just kind of deal with them later on. In terms of how long I've been playing this game, this is the second time playing it. Unfortunately, I had recorded myself playing it before, but for whatever reason, my microphone was not working, which, as you can imagine, I was not particularly happy about. But never mind. The main thing is that it's a pretty good game. It's pretty good fun. Do enjoy it. So we can just carry on. One thing we are going to do is we're going to build a little kind of wall over here with the intention of building a gate and some turrets over here, because we want to secure these bits over here. You can't really see it. Well, we need to retreat these guys here. We're starting to get overrun a little bit, or at least this is starting to kind of come around us. We'll get a better kind of perimeter in a second. We might even have to bring these guys back down here. Yeah, we'll bring them closer home so we can have a bit more of a quick reaction force. Yeah, so we have to be a little bit careful about the plant matter, the Calyx. They will come over, they will eat up these mineral resources. They're not gone for good, but it means that we aren't able to mine them. They'll damage our buildings, they'll destroy what's ever there, so we just have to be a little bit careful of that. Let's continue building up our defenses over here. Fantastic. And if I can, I would love to get some power pylons out over here. Not like that. So unfortunately, we will pause the game here. Unfortunately, there's no tower system like Creeper World. Again, I think I've been playing... I played the demo of this and then started playing Creeper World again, and I was like, oh yeah, great game. I do quite like the sort of real-time tower defense in comparison to, say, the sort of more turn-based or wave-based tower defense. I always feel like that one's a bit, not to say that they aren't fun, but it's not as fun. It doesn't have that sort of RTS kind of feeling to it, which I think these kind of ones definitely feel a lot better about. So yeah, we'll build our little power area over here. We've actually ran out of credit, so we'll have to wait for our next ore transport to go out.
Ready for action.
That's okay. What we'll do is we'll send 2 of our guys here just to defend this gate. Once we have some additional turrets, that'll become a little bit easier as well. And we're going to have a little bit of a worry about this pink one. The pink one doesn't seem to spread faster than the green ones. And in fact, you can see up here that the green and the pink kind of, they keep their boundaries. If 2 different Calyx kind of meet, they don't try and fight each other, at least not in this level. It'd be kind of interesting to see what happens in the full game. But certainly with this pink one, it spawns these kind of weird spitter-esque kind of things, which will do decent damage to us and actually shoot us from afar, so we have to be a little bit canny about it. Something to keep in mind. Now, our ore transport is preparing. Yep, the Calyx is approaching. We've got to make sure we defend. Of course we do. We have a little bit of power issues as well. We could do with building some more solar panels just to keep the power going. So I think we will. Let's just get our credits together. Perfect. We can afford a single solar panel, and that's it, unfortunately. So, fingers crossed we can kind of get our battery life a little bit better. As it comes for this Calyx is very, very quickly starting to come down. And this one over here is being held off by our light tanks, at least for the moment. We'll have to keep a little eye on it, but we should hopefully be okay. Let's continue building out these power pylons. There we go. Now we've got good coverage of everything. And what we can do is we can potentially even build up some machine gun turrets here. And they should hopefully be able to cover this area here. And we can pull these light tanks back to help cover the main entrance, where we currently don't have any defenses. So we are going to be reliant on our light tanks in order to keep the horrible Calyx back. So there we go. That's the machine gun turrets done. We can move these guys back.
You got it.
And we can bring them back over to our main kind of task force over here. As for the ore transport, so the ore transport is still loading up. That's good. We're still making some money. We're running a little bit low on power whenever we're loading up. It is quite power intensive to load up this ore transport, but I think with one more solar panel we should have enough power to kind of offset that, and especially once we have the money to build a battery, then we'll be in a much better position. The other thing we're wanting to build as well is a light factory. This will let us produce light vehicles, more of our light tanks, as well as medium tanks, artillery, and other such kind of units as well, which will be very, very useful. Now, we've got to start shooting back this kind of area here, so we'll start doing that. Also, as well, because we've managed to secure this area over here, we've also secured this lovely little bit of ore for us to use too, which is great. I think what we're going to do, we don't quite have enough to get a battery, but we should have enough ore that we can just load it up onto our ore transport, and that should be okay. How are the turrets doing? Turrets seem to be doing okay. We're kind of holding off the spread that's here. This guy should be able to cover everything. Indeed he can. Perfect. So as long as we can kind of cover everything, they should be all right. These guys here will need to actually hold the ramp itself, because we're starting to get this creep from the other side as well. I'm wondering as well if we maybe first of all build our battery, and then we try and build our power grid down, and we can get some cover from some additional turrets. I think that's probably wise to do. So yeah, we'll put a turret there, we'll put a turret there. They can start to shoot around this sort of entrance just while we hold it. The other thing we could do, so we have our ore transport, and it is working pretty well. It's consistently getting us money, which is great. We do have to worry a little bit about the amount of ore in our mines. The mines don't last forever, unfortunately. So we are not so much a race against the clock, but certainly we can't just sit on our laurels. We have got to move at some point, especially if we're also going to be using some of these ores, etc., for making units, which we will do. I think our first course of action is going to be trying to retake this ore field when we get a second. We'll actually even move up some of our light tanks just now that we kind of have the perimeter defended. I want us to try and move up. We'll build a light factory, and we'll pop that over here. The idea being that we can use this to produce some more light tanks that we can use to try and push back the evil Calyx. Well, I'm not even sure if they are evil, but to me they're evil. So that's the main thing. At least we've got our ore transports are going very regularly. We're not using up all of our battery power now that we have this other battery, which is great. And that means we can keep on going and keep on going on. Now, we could also build up some additional mining centers so we can get more ore quicker, which I don't think is a bad idea. And if we really wanted to be greedy, we could even build another ore transport, but I don't think we have the power to really manage that. Let's build ourselves a couple more light tanks. So we'll not be actually sending out any ore for a little while after this one's been launched, because we've put a little threshold here, so we've got to have at least a reserve of 220 before it starts to load.
Ready for action.
But with these light tanks, hopefully we can actually push out a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll probably actually try and say, hey, let us go and hold this sort of area here on the left.
Yes.
That'd be good. How are we doing over here? This turret is starting to struggle just a little bit, so what we'll do is we'll actually build a couple more turrets just to help cover. As the calyx is starting to get a little bit denser, you can see here that these vines are kind of growing, these branches are starting to come off it. It's expanding an awful lot more, so yeah, I think having some additional turrets there just to kind of hold this back away from the walls will help us quite a lot. It means that we can kind of keep our focus on this area over here. Now, how do we want to do this? I think what we want to do is we'll probably want to build some walls, and we'll build a little turret here, and we'll start building our power around as well. We'll use these turrets to kind of hold back the normal amount of this calyx, but we've got to be a little bit careful about it, because these light tanks, as you can see from the little green bit, the green bit is where they can shoot. They cannot shoot through this area here, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful of that. No matter though, because we can just carry on carrying on. Let's get ourselves another solar panel as well, just to make sure our power systems say okay. And we'll move up our light tanks to try and continue pushing on up. Let's actually think about building a gate here. Perfect. And we'll do that there, and we'll put another turret there as well. I have to keep a little eye out that we're not using too much, and we can actually see that we've already used up all of this mine, so we'll demolish it, get some credits back. We'll spend the money instead to build another mine here. Perfect. Yep, so we can see here that we're shooting through this gate. We've got decent-ish sort of field of view. We'll just keep pushing up. I'm thinking we can probably put another machine gun turret here. That should be able to shoot and help keep this out. I'd really like to reclaim this kind of area here, but I think we're going to need some heavier firepower. And for that, we're probably going to need medium tanks. How are we going to do that? Well, we're probably going to have to wait a little bit until we have our mining area kind of more suited for getting lots and lots of money, because unlike the light tanks, which only cost 100 minerals, the medium tanks cost 100 credits and 200 minerals, so they're a little bit harder to get working. So for now, at least, we'll just kind of hold the perimeter, at least until we get a second to start moving forward. If we increase the number of miners, we increase the number of credits we're getting in, because we're only loading up, as we say, after the 220. So yeah, we should be getting that guy loaded up. He should be getting ready to go very shortly, and then we should be on the move. Can we launch him now? He doesn't seem to have any minerals on him at the moment. Yeah, there we go. He's starting to load up now. So there's no point in launching him now. We might as well make sure we've got the reserve. We'll move this light tank out here just so he gets a little bit of a better kind of field of view. Good stuff. You can see here the turrets are doing a pretty good job of keeping them away. They're effectively the same thing as these light tanks. Just the light tanks obviously have the advantage that they can move and they don't require any power other than when they're initially made. So, something to keep in mind. We might want to build a silo so we can store more ore. We basically just have enough ore just now to build our tanks, and that's about it. We don't really have much for like mass amounts of extraction and exporting. So it might be worth it to try and do that. We're going to have to pull back these light tanks here. This kind of area over here is starting to get a little bit more dangerous. Potentially we want to actually push up and put ourselves in a little turret here as well, just to kind of keep this off the corner there. As much as I was saying, oh, we want to make sure that we're extracting things a little bit more, I think that's something that's probably a good idea. Let's build ourselves a little silo over here as well. It's going to cost us a bit, and it doesn't actually get us any minerals, but it means that we can store more minerals, and that'll help as we get more miners. Good stuff. We're managing to mostly keep our power system okay, at least for now, although potentially we could do with building some more solar panels as well. That's probably something we could do for the future. because as you can see, we're not really reclaiming our amount of power in between rocket launches. Yeah, as you can see here, we're a little bit low on power at the moment, which is going to it massively reduces the amount or the fire rate of these turrets. And given these turrets are one of the main reasons that we're still, you know, kicking at the moment, that's not great. So yeah, we need to get more credits, we need to get more solar panels. We've been running off this battery power for too long, but we haven't been recharging it in between or transporting. So fingers crossed that guy gets out, we can manage to get some more power with our solar panels. Yeah, we're just going to have to invest everything. As much as I want to get one of these larger tanks, we're just going to have to invest everything for the moment. We are holding it back. These turrets over here are mostly holding it back. They're struggling maybe just a little bit, but we're doing okay. We could, even though it is going to take us some more power, we'll put another defense over there just so we can leave it. We don't have to come back to it for a while. But the main issue we're having is this rocket. You know what? We're actually going to set you... well, I might as well set you as active because you've got the 100 minerals already loaded up. So let's just send you off. Hopefully, we'll get enough credits here that we can build another solar panel. And we can get some more power. That'd be really good if we can do that. There we go. Get some more solar panels. That should do us for power, I think. Given that we managed to fully recharge the battery, I think we should be okay from now on. We can go back to expanding out our mining infrastructure.
Yes.
Additionally, on top of that, I think maybe before we expand out our mining infrastructure, we'll get one medium tank. We can try and use them to destroy some of these branches. The way that the Calyx spreads is that it kind of spreads out just kind of on the ground, not very hard to begin with. Then these branches will come out, and from those branches you get this kind of like root and kind of viney kind of look to it. And they start to come out of it. If we destroy one of those roots, one of these roots here, any root that's connecting to it will also wither, and that will actually lighten up on the amount of Calyx that's currently on the ground. So say for example, if we came over here and we had some tanks and that, and they managed to destroy this branch, all of this Calyx that's connected to it, is downstream of it, or a down branch from it. I'm not quite sure how to kind of phrase that, but everything downstream of it will be completely destroyed, and it'll get removed, and that's a really good way of kind of fighting back against the Calyx. Now, one thing that's a little bit concerning is the amount of our mines that are starting to become exhausted, so we're going to have to make sure that we're mining up as best we can. At least our rocket is doing okay, and we've managed to get 2 whole medium tanks out, so with this we can start our reconquest of this area here. Not that we've even actually gone into this area over here at all. Part of me does wonder if we could build another ore transport, but I don't think it's worth it because we don't have the power infrastructure at the moment to be able to deal with it. The main thing is that we've got our rocket going up pretty much 24/7. Now, why are these medium tanks good? Well, they've got a much longer range than the light tanks. You can see the light tanks are good for kind of like around them. These medium tanks can shoot a lot further away, and they're also quite good for damaging these kind of branch areas here. As you can see, they take them out, and a lot of the Calyx kind of just starts to wither and decay away from them. What we're going to do is we're going to try and move up our forces here. We'll try and take out these branches best we can, and keep on moving on. Yeah, there we go. You can see there we really managed to take out that kind of node, and then it kind of withers and starts to die. So if we can just keep doing that, if we can just keep cutting off the Hydra head, then we can keep moving on forward. Now, we've got our ore pretty much working very well. We should probably keep expanding out our mining as best we can. We're going to have to expand out our power system over here and over here. That's okay. But yeah, our rocket is now working 24/7, which is absolutely fantastic. That means we're going to be getting our money in pretty much on time all the time. Cannot complain. And we're doing pretty well at kind of reconquering this area here. What we could maybe do is we could start to continue the wall up and along here, and continue the turret systems as well, as long as we do the power 2. Because we're going to need to actually have the wall around the entirety of this area just to make sure that it's completely safe. But as it stands, I think we could probably leave this light tank over here. This one as well seems to be okay. If we just make sure that we're kind of keeping everybody off this kind of area here. The turret should be able to deal with the left side if these light tanks are able to deal with this side over here. These medium tanks, can you get rid of this lovely little branch there? That'd be great. And how are we doing? We're running out of more mines, so we'll just continue our mining infrastructure out over here. Good stuff, good stuff. That'll have to do. Build out our power. We'll demolish these ones that are no longer active. They're no longer getting us any ore, so we might as well get a little refund for that, and then continue as best we can to mine out this whole patch. If we can mine out this whole patch, or near enough this whole patch, then I'll be feeling pretty good. How are we looking over here? Well, we've managed to mostly reclaim this patch, which is feeling pretty good. Maybe do with some more light tanks. The light tanks are useful because they can kind of hold an area. Additionally, we could probably actually just do with some defenses over this side as well. So let's get ourselves a little wall started. And we can think about putting even more defensive turrets down. The power system is still looking okay, although there's going to be more and more power being used, unfortunately, as we add on more turrets. That's the one downside to them, is they do use a lot of power. Well, not a lot of power, but certainly more power than your light tanks. Your light tanks only use the power while you're making them. Speaking of light tanks, I think we will actually get some more light tanks, put them there. We'll also set a little rally point kind of come to this side here. We'll double check over here by our machine gun turrets. These guys are doing absolutely fine. They'll be able to hold off this kind of area here. Nothing really to worry about. I think instead we'll just kind of hopefully be able to hold back this side here, if we can, as well as we continue to push out this wall. Now, one thing we probably want to do, or at least think about, is we probably want to think about destroying more of this kind of branch system over here. Ah, perfect, we got some more reinforcements. So we'll use our tanks, we'll try and focus fire out these kind of branch areas over here just so we can keep pushing that out. I think as well, if we get some more medium tanks, that'd be actually also really good, just so we have some additional firepower. And then after that, yeah, we'll get some more mines. We'll need to get some additional power as well, because our battery isn't fully charging anymore. So, yes, let's get some additional power from our solar panels. And that should help us out quite a bit. Let's go medium tanks. Let's kind of roll it out a little bit. We've got our guns here, so we're managing to hold back the majority of this, which is great. Ah, yeah, there we go. We're starting to see those power issues that we're having. We were doing okay for a little while, but yeah, it seems like our power needs are outstripping what we can currently make, which isn't ideal. Let's build ourselves a little gate over here, and we can also turret up around here. Obviously, this is going to increase our power usage, but it's also pretty much required to keep this kind of growth back. We've managed to mostly secure this kind of area here, which is fantastic. We're just going to keep blasting out these kind of growths here. Now, interestingly enough, when we blast this growth out and this starts to recede, now it'll be a fight between this growth here, or this calyx, and the pink calyx as this begins to kind of just disintegrate. Now, as I've said before, this pink calyx is a little bit more concerning to me than the other one. But maybe we can spend some time and try and see if we can wall up around here. If we can get turrets to kind of hold this kind of area off, that would be fantastic. And we can expand out into this entire mining area. Now, speaking of which, we haven't even fully expanded out this mining area, which is potentially an issue for us, because we probably want to be mining as much as we can. And as much as I want to build another ore transport, we just don't have the power infrastructure for it at the moment. We'd have to get more batteries, we'd have to get certainly more power production as well. Like, even with the... yeah, with the rocket gone, we're not that far ahead of our power needs as it stands. So, yeah, we're definitely going to need more solar panels. That's for certain. So yeah, let's keep on building some solar panels. And we'll keep on making sure that we got everything there. These medium tanks are doing a pretty good job of holding us back. I think I actually want to blast these kind of bits here if we can. Fortunately, this pink growth isn't coming down. We've managed to kind of hold it off by keeping this growth here for a while. Now, when that goes, that's going to be a bit interesting. But in the meantime, we're actually out of power again. As we were saying, I'm a little bit worried about this sort of power system, so we'll try and get some more solar panels to mitigate that as best we can. It's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to be the worst either, let's be fair. So yeah, we'll just keep on building solar panels as best we can, just to try and keep the power system going. Maybe we'll need to deactivate this ore transport, because we can see here that it needs up to 100 energy in order to function. And other than that, we've also got all these turrets we've got to worry about. Now, this building here only uses 3, so we don't really need to worry about it. But yeah, these miners are also causing us a little bit of a doozy. It's okay, we're just going to make sure that we're sending the ore. And once we send the ore, it should be alright. The turrets as well are kind of keeping everything back, which is great.
Understood.
Just so we can expand into this other area. Let's move these light tanks around, just so we can make sure that they're actually shooting. As I said before, they can't shoot past the wall. They have to like shoot things kind of like around them and within their line of sight. That's probably the more succinct way of saying it, but yeah, We'll continue building up these solar panels. We get some more solar panels here. Get another one. Here's what, actually, we'll maybe get rid of that one because that's going to get in the way of this light factory. We're just now didn't get a full refund on that, which is a little bit of a shame, but these things happen. Better to do that now than realize we've kind of blocked in our light factory and have to relocate that. That's more expensive than a solar panel. Now, the other thing we can see is that our mineral amount is getting very, very high, which is great. That means we're all mining an awful lot. What that is maybe not a good sign of is the fact that we're gonna need another ore launcher, which is probably not the worst problem to have, but certainly in terms of our power grid, potentially is, because I just don't know if we're going to be able to handle it. Speaking of that, do we want to put that here? I mean, we certainly could. We're doing better with our battery power. You know what? Even though I've said it's not the best thing to happen, we'll just do it now. We need the money. If we can get the rapid expansion going, we can get more solar panels, we can get more vehicles, we can start really kind of pushing this plant life back. Speaking of pushing this plant life back, I do kind of want to keep this wall going up just so we can completely wall this area in. Does mean that we will be relying on our turrets to keep us safe rather than our vehicles, at least for the moment, because they obviously won't be able to shoot over the walls. But if they kind of hold off this area up here, which is not really where they're expanding, we can keep our flanks kind of safe, and then we can build a sort of gate up here, leave this area as it is, and then start maybe expanding out, trying to take out, say, this Calyx over here, or even potentially the Calyx over to the west. If we kind of attack from this point here, we can take out a lot of the growth and try and steamroller our way around, which could also be a good plan. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Now, the main thing is we're out of power, so we will need to build an additional battery. That goes without saying. So let's get ourselves another battery. We'll build that there. Good stuff, because we're actually doing okay for power as long as the two miners aren't around at the same time. So yeah, with an additional battery, we should hopefully be all right. Let's get rid of some of these mines that are no longer working. And we'll also fill up ourselves on these mines here. Good stuff. Let's get ourselves some power on these bits there. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, massive drain on the battery when they're both filling up, but they both fill up, and once they filled up, we can actually get the power back. That was definitely the right choice. I didn't think it would be, but as always, I am wrong. Let's get ourselves some more solar panels just to make sure that we can definitely fill it all up, and we can then also expand out, say, our defenses over here. Additionally, what we can also do is we can build an advanced tech center, which is going to unlock us additional buildings and units that we can use. That can be things like our artillery, which is going to be a very, very useful way of kind of keeping back the branches and really helping us push further in. So let's concentrate for just now on expanding out the defenses here. So we'll get ourselves our walls down. I want to make sure that every single thing around here is turreted up. It's going to be quite expensive in terms of the power grid requirements, but I think it's going to be worth it. Let's move out our light tanks just to make sure that they are able to kind of cover this area just while those machine gun turrets are building. There we go. Maybe a little bit overkill on this corner, but we want to make sure this corner is able to hold. We're going to have this pink stuff here. We're going to have this other stuff here. We just really want to make sure that everything is working. Now, we've moved up our light tanks. Let's keep our medium tanks just a little bit further back. How are we doing over here with our advanced tech center? Not quite done. As you can see, these technologies are pretty expensive, so we've got to be a little bit worried about that. Now, as well, we're also pretty much mined out of this area here. I could spend the 100 to grab that last bit, and you know what, I will, because I'm a sucker for just finishing it off. But let's make sure as well that we've got our other miners starting to set up here. We've got our other stockpile of ore over here as well that we can use, which is going to be great. We've nearly managed to secure that, and once that's secured, I'll be feeling a lot better. Speaking of securing that, let's actually build ourselves a little turrets, or a couple of turrets here, and we'll build ourselves a little connection, and we can start walling this up as well. And once that's walled up, in fact, maybe we'll even put the gate in first, just to make sure that we have enough space for it. Good stuff. And then we'll build this wall here, and we'll probably use some additional turrets to keep that going as well. Let's get these light tanks out the way, because they're currently within that wall. They're not going to be able to shoot. So here we go. Here's the problem that we're currently having. We've got a wall that's being damaged because we're getting shot at by these pink things, or the sort of pink spitter things. They always just kind of remind me of Factorio's like spitters. So we're going to have to be a little bit canny of that. That's where the artillery is really going to come in useful, is dealing with that. Now let's also make sure as well that we're expanding out our mining situation, because we're using an awful, now that we have 2 exporters, we're using an awful lot of minerals, so we need to make sure that those minerals are still coming in so that we can keep the exporting going, so we can keep the credits going up, so we can keep making money.
Yes.
And then we can keep the lights on as well, which is always good. Now we have to be a little bit canny of power here, so let's get ourselves some more solar panels. Because, yeah, we're no longer quite getting all of our power back, so yeah, we'll just keep making sure that we're getting solar panels. Especially seeing as most of our defenses now are done by turrets rather than by our various vehicles, so we're going to have to be very, very careful of that. Let's keep going and we'll keep on firing at this kind of area here, because we might be able to think about doing a little bit of a push now that we've nearly got all the defenses together. Let's actually make sure as well while we're here, we're continuing with our power needs, so we'll just continue making our power. Good stuff. Keep it going. Alright, this is looking good. Let's get ourselves, so we've got our gate there, we've got our gate there, so we just need to wall this off. So we will wall it off, like so. Perfect. And then we can also get the turrets up, get the power up over here. There we go. We should now have power everywhere. And that's actually cordoned off the entirety of this mining bit here. Gotta worry about these little spitters. They will be a little bit annoying, a little bit irritating, but I think we'll be okay. Let's start pushing this up with our light tanks. We've got our medium tanks to kind of help us out, and especially if we can knock out this plant here, this will hopefully free up all of this area here. We're using our light tanks mostly to just kind of hold back the sort of the emerging tendrils, while we're using our medium tanks to actually punch through the brush. Speaking of which, how are we doing for power? We still need some more power, so let's make sure that we're doing that. One of our miners isn't even connected, so we'll also make sure that we are connecting these guys up. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, we'll just continue on building up our power region and getting things on the move. How are we doing over here? Turrets seem to be holding pretty well. I haven't even checked in this area over here for a while. They're doing okay. I think they were probably struggling while we were running out of power for a little while.
Ready to serve.
So,
Understood.
good stuff. Now, the only issue is we potentially will need some people to hold this, so we could potentially increase the wall here so we're actually covering all of this area, which might be a good idea. This is the issue. It's like trying to move forward in one bit leaves yourself open to the other area. Where this Calyx has actually kind of wrapped its way around our defenses. We could push up the cliff, but then we're going to have these guys shooting at us, which is not going to help either. In fact, if anything, this is probably more of an advantageous position because it's almost kind of how we want it, where we're not getting pressured by the pink Calyx, and instead we're getting pressured by the green. Yep, we'll build ourselves a wee gate there. We'll keep the walls going, and we'll make sure as well that we're building up these turrets. Good stuff. Get the power systems through as well. We're kind of getting surrounded here a little bit. These guys are getting a little bit out in the open, which I'm not enjoying. It's because this route has managed to push on down, so we're going to have to move our way around it. Let's make sure as well that we're getting plenty of defenses here, because these guys are going to be shooting pretty much non-stop for a while. Our mines are getting exhausted. To be expected, we are shipping off a lot of these, a lot of the good stuff. Why aren't you demolishing? There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's get these tanks, let's get them together. We've got our turrets together now as well, so we can get defenses. That's this entire area here completely walled off, or should be completely walled off. Looks like we might have lost a wall there. No matter. Medium tanks, I want you to shoot these kind of areas here so we can try and clear this out as best we can. In the meantime, we'll keep on mining. How's our power situation doing? Power situation looking okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's get the power out over here. We'll maybe just additionally build some extra solar panels just to be sure that we can kind of keep this area going, and then we'll have a little look and see how we can upgrade our potential forces. Let's do an aggressive push as well. Push up our medium tanks. Hopefully keep on taking out these things here. I thought I was building some more medium tanks, or did I just dream that? I think I just dreamt that. Maybe that happened in a previous life. Who knows? Let's actually also make sure that we're hotkeying this light factory so that we can use it up. And we'll put our various units into control groups too. Yeah, we got our medium tanks there now. Having a little bit of difficulty shooting up this ramp, but it's okay. We'll get it sorted. How's our light factory doing? Okay, let's also get our advanced tech center done. We can build artillery turrets. I think I'd actually prefer the mobile artillery. If potential, let's get some basilisks on the go.
You got it.
And let's also make sure that we're pushing up this medium turret. If we can take out these tendrils, and we can make a good kind of defensive line here, then we should no longer get kind of outflanked by this stuff that's down here. To do that, we're going to have to take out this stuff here, we're going to take out these branches here, and we're also going to have to take out these branches here, so we might have to move up these tanks just ever so slightly in order to do that. How are we doing? Let's make sure as well that we are definitely getting the advanced tech center done. Yes, we are. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally cancel it. We're getting these branches out of the way. We want to try and do a push. I think what we're going to do is we're going to push up this right side here, take out this Calyx, then come round, sweep around, take out this pink one. As long as we can secure this kind of ramp here, we should be fine. Because we've mostly managed to secure this area here. This green Calyx doing us a real solid in stopping the pink from getting to us. That is going to be a little bit of an issue because of this. When we do free it from this one, it's going to expand out pretty rapidly as far as I know. So, something to consider. These light tanks here, I almost feel like we want more light tanks as well. But first we'll get ourselves some artillery and then we'll start worrying about that. More importantly than artillery, however, we need to get more mining. We are really running out of our initial mining spot, but that's why we also secured this area over here so we can start to mine this out as well. Yes, let's get those miners down. Good stuff. That's going to pretty much massively increase our power consumption, which is a problem, but hopefully we'll be okay. Let's try and take out these branches here. If we can take out these branches and stop this growth, there we go. We've managed to cut this growth off, and we can see how it just kind of starts to recede from there. As long as we can get this receding, that'd be great for us, and we'll do that mostly by bombarding off these branches. Go on, keep it up, keep it up. If we could get to this point here, which would be why we want the artillery, then that would also be really helpful, because that will mean that we're able to much better deal with it. Problem with artillery is it's very expensive. Ah, here comes our first one. Basilisk reporting, sir. Time to shatter this branch's sky. Right, let's move these guys up. We'll move our artillery up. We want to make sure our light tanks have got a really nice defensive position for our heavies. Let's also actually think about building some additional light tanks as well. We're going to have a little bit of an issue when it comes to the amount of vehicles we have, so we'll unlock the vehicle command as well. Get rid of these mines. Ones that are kind of running out. That is a little bit concerning how much of our mines have run out and how much power we're still using as well. So I imagine it's probably because we're also making vehicles. Doesn't help the matter. So we'll build up some more solar panels just to try and hopefully deal with that. Ah, here we go. The artillery is done. But we've been completely cut off. They've managed to come around us. Our troops are in danger. We need the light tanks to push in through. Alright, you guys here, you set yourselves up. Medium tanks, you need to deal with these branches. Artillery, I need you over here, and I need you to deal with these branches as well. The light tanks should hopefully be able to get you on the way, but we'll have to see. Yep, come on, keep it going. The light tanks should be able to defend these medium tanks, so we should be okay. It's a very timely point to make those light tanks, it seems. Let's actually even think about making some more light tanks, because I really need to burst through this kind of Calyx to get there. These medium tanks take out this horrific branch here. There we go. We've managed to get some breathing space from the artillery. We've taken out that branch. This should all start to wither now. And then we can rejoin our forces together. Ah, beautiful. You love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Alright, let's get our defensive line here with our light tanks up and ready. Medium tanks, I want you to move on up. Artillery, I want you to come forward and really start hammering home this area over here. Let's actually change our area of our rally point so that we can get more of our tanks up and together. Let's get some more light tanks up here. We've got a real nice firing line there. Our turrets are still going, which is good. Let's get some more miners. So we need to make sure that the mines are still running. Solar panels looking okay. Can we afford any of the upgrades? I'm really looking forward to this substation. We only need 500 minerals for it, so I think it'll be good. It'll mean that all of our solar panels are worth or able to produce a lot more power, which is definitely not a bad thing. Let's get some more power here just to make sure that we're not going to be running out. And we'll grab all of our light tanks, all 20 of them, and we'll keep on moving up. These medium tanks here, we'll keep on moving up. This artillery, I want to see if we can shell this area over here. So yeah, let's keep building up some more medium tanks. Might as well. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Yes, perfect. Alright, now with the machine guns, the machine gun turrets are holding there. Light tanks, you're still holding. Artillery, you should be shelling. You are indeed. Let's move up the medium tanks as well. Let's add you guys to... Okay, so I don't know No, so there's not shift control grips. That'd be something I'd like to see added. Overall, as far as the demo goes, I think this is a very solid demo. It's good fun. It's the right amount of frantic
Always ready.
to kind of keep you going, but it's not that difficult. They kind of said in the sort of the blurb for the mission that this is maybe around about 25% of the way through. So obviously the final game will be harder than this, but I think this is a good level of difficulty just for this initial bit. So yeah, we'll add in this medium tank. I want you guys to move on up. Artillery, you keep on shelling, good stuff, and we'll keep this defensive line going. We could even sort of split our light tanks in two, because I'm a little bit concerned about getting flanked by some of these things, but overall we seem to be okay. We're currently researching this silo, so we can get more power, so that we're using less space for our power production. Let's as well... there's actually a little light tank over here. Let's grab him, we'll send him over. Let's continue expanding out our mining area over here, so we can keep on getting more minerals. The minerals can make the world go round after all. And we'll keep this medium tank as well, so we'll add him into the group. Same thing with these light tanks. See, it's kind of strange, because they have some of the things you'd expect from RTSs, where they've got shift drag boxes, etc. for adding into selections, but nothing for command grips, which is a little bit weird. But, you know, it's probably just early on, they just haven't thought about adding it yet. And it's a quality of life more than anything else. It's not actually a requirement. You don't need it in order to play the game. Just make things nicer for controlling your units, etc. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of an issue. Our mines are currently needing to be demolished, so let's demolish them up and we can continue our expansion. Now, we don't actually have anywhere else that we can expand outward into. We've obviously got these kind of patches here, but the only other patch is over here. There are more patches on the map. It's hard to tell where they are unless you kind of really pay attention at the start of the game. That's another thing I'd kind of hope that they change in the actual release, is that it's quite hard in order to determine exactly where the next minerals are. I know there's minerals up here because I remember it from the last time I played, but if you were kind of stuck and you're kind of panicking going, where can I get minerals from? I really need minerals right now. Then you're a little bit screwed, to be perfectly honest. Especially given that we've completely mined out this mineral area, which is really nice. We can potentially use this for more solar panels if we need to, but we're actually doing okay for power. We're going to get ourselves one of these things here, these silos, and they'll actually improve all of our... They'll improve all of our solar panels, so we're producing more power. So power should hopefully not be an issue anymore, which should be great. Instead, the only thing that's really going to be an issue is going to be making sure that we have enough minerals in order to keep making credits. And if we don't have enough credits, then we can't afford the big toys like our artillery, because that's really what we want. So let's keep also shelling out this artillery here. We're slowly but surely... okay, there's a little bit of a threat somewhere around here. There's something that's potentially shooting at us. I think there may be this plant down here. I'm gonna have to keep a little eye on it. Let's get ourselves some more medium tanks. Medium tanks aren't as good as artillery in my mind, because it's a bit of a slower kind of like move up. But they're still very good for clearing out these branches. So we just get them in range, they can just plow away at these sort of like closer bits of branches just to kind of get the front line moving. While the light tanks hold up, we can use the artillery on some sort of like crucial infrastructure of the branches. Like this bit here, that should now completely go. Boom, there we go. Right, move on up. Move on up, boys. Good job. Let's get this artillery up as well. And we've also got this artillery here too. So let's add him into the control group, and we'll keep on moving up with our medium tanks. Yes, we're doing well here. We're doing well here. We're almost in striking range of that initial Calyx, which should be great. Let's keep building up these medium tanks. We'll put them on another little thing up here. Yes, good stuff. Keep on moving up. We're just slowly but surely advancing this front line. Let's kind of make sure that our light tanks are spread enough that we're actually covering everything. That'd be good. Our medium tanks, I really want you to take out these kind of growths here so that we can keep our flanks secure, while our light tanks are dealing with the kind of area over here. Additionally, what we can also do, we don't quite have the credits for yet, but we hopefully will have them soon, is get a mobile repair bay. We haven't taken that much damage. We've managed to sort of micro our guys fairly well. But there's still a chance that we might eventually start taking some more damage. We don't want to take too much damage if we can help it. So let's keep the artillery going. Good stuff. Blast away these kind of connecting bits. Actually, maybe we can just blast this bit here. That'd be good as well.
Yes.
This medium tank's starting to struggle just a little bit. I thought I told you guys to get rid of this connection. Just blast that away, would you? Good stuff. That should get this Calyx behind us to start to wither. It's going to be a massive, massive help. Okay, so yes, let's get ourselves a mobile repair unit, and as soon as we can, we'll also get some more artillery. Keep moving up these light tanks, move up the medium tanks, and try and take out this connection here, and then we'll start shelling the actual Calyx itself, and that'll be fantastic. Then, after that, I'm afraid it's going to be an absolute run to try and secure a choke point against the pink stuff, and that's going to be quite interesting. There's also more mining stuff over here, which is great. Good stuff. Let's keep going. Let's start mining this out. Now, we will have to build ourselves some additional power pylons up here, which is going to be a little bit of a pain. Some wasted credits here and there, but it's okay. We'll also grab all of these medium tanks here as we just blast away at this Calyx. Look at him go. And with him dead, that should be all of this green stuff here from this particular one gone. Boom, perfect. There we go. It should all start to wither and decay.
Ready for action.
Yep, there we go. Right, now we've got a mad rush. We've got to try and get around here, because this pink stuff is going to start rapidly expanding. So now we need to hold this checkpoint or this choke point while we get the defenses up. For that, we're going to need our artillery as well. Perfect. We're going to have to be a little bit canny though, because they do obviously have these little spitter things. They will be able to annoy us, shall we say. Yeah, there we go. They're already starting to fire us. So we're going to build our defenses out over here. We're going to get ourselves an artillery turret. I want to make sure that we have all of our light tanks here. Yep, let's get all of them. Get them together. Artillery. Let's make sure we've got all of our artillery, and I want you guys to just shoot at this thing and take it out, please. That'd be great. And this means we can also expand our mining area out over here. Now, as it comes for the light factory, we're actually going to just be really cheap, and we're going to build another one over here, something that's a little bit closer to our current front line. Let's as well make sure that we've got some turrets coming up. As far as the light tanks go, I want you guys actually out front. I want the medium tanks out here where we're going to build up this wall. Artillery boys, I want you to just move up for just now. I do need you to take this out, or I will need you to take that out. Let's get ourselves an artillery turret as well. I can kind of lob things down over here. But yes, I want these artillery guys to shoot out that tank if possible. That'd be great. The light tank's doing pretty well. Let's... we can't afford a mobile repair unit. We just don't quite have the credits at the moment. Let's go back as well. And we can't unlock the command upgrade. That's a little bit of a shame. So we're managing to shell out these kind of spitters. Good stuff. Let's build ourselves a little gate here, just so we have somewhere to fall back to, because these pink guys can be a little bit aggressive. That is a little bit annoying what I've done with that wall there. I do kind of wish instead of like sort of like a drag, or sort of like it just happens on your cursor, it was more of like a drag kind of thing. Obviously you can just be a little bit more careful about it, but when you're trying to do something quickly, or you're trying to like micro things, it's nice to be able to kind of get that done a little bit better. But you know, it's just a little bit of feedback from me, what I would like. Just quality of life things rather than actual things that are needed. Where's this threat detected? That's just here. Good stuff, that's fine. We'll keep on moving up, and we'll also keep moving up these medium tanks as well. I would like some more artillery if possible, but if not, we can always just build some more medium tanks. They should be at least be able to help us with the branches. Now, the only thing with these guys here is that I feel like they're much more aggressive in terms of how they expand. You can see here that the branches aren't even really that close, but still, there's a lot of this fauna, and it does still keep coming, even with all these light tanks kind of clearing the way. We are going to need more light tanks as well. That is definitely for sure. Yeah, let's just keep moving on, Obviously, we've been playing too much Death Stranding, but that's by the by. Let's start. We can use the artillery. Ah, perfect. You guys are actually already taking out that thing. That's actually probably better to take out, to be perfectly honest. Let's get our medium tanks over here. How many do we have? 11? I think 11 medium tanks probably enough. Well, what am I kidding? Let's get a 12. Might as well. I think 12 medium tanks is probably more than enough. We want to really be focusing on more artillery. We'll get one mobile repair bay just to repair out all of our light tanks. We don't want them to be damaged, because it's obviously quite costly to get them repaired. And let's keep pushing forward. We're going to actually be very aggressive with our medium tanks here. Our light tanks are able to kind of hold off this kind of area pretty well. We're not really having to use this wall at all, to be perfectly honest, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Let's actually use some of this credits here as well. Let's get ourselves some more miners, because we're going to have to mine this area up, and that's not a bad thing, because we want to make sure that we're making our money. Yep, there's threats detected. That's fine. Let's just build this bit up here. We don't actually have enough credits to build it all up. That's okay. How are we doing over here? Where are we getting shot at? Getting shot at from down here anywhere? Well, if we were, it's dead now, so it's dead, Jim. Everybody's dead, Jim.
Yes.
Let's keep on moving up.
Understood. Affirmative.
I think it was me conflating, what was that, Red Dwarf and Star Trek there. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Jim. Am I getting Jim, or am I getting Red Dwarf in the office? Who knows? It's currently been 50 minutes, you know, of high-octane RTS gameplay, or tower defense at the very least.
Understood.
So we're trying to move on and keep things getting done. Let's get ourselves this light factory, an actual thing here. We're just going to actually set this as our main producer. As you can see, these towers over here have just held off this Calyx the entire time. This is a little bit worrying. This is all of our miners there completely done, so we are going to have to just spend a little bit of time just making sure that our mining infrastructure is ready and there. I was wondering why our minerals were coming in a little bit slower than before. Fortunately, it does seem that our power infrastructure is doing okay, so that's the main thing. Okay, so we've got
Ready for action.
plenty of light tanks. That's good. Let's keep that moving up. Let's keep our artillery up. Let's get our medium tanks up as well. Artillery, I want you to shoot at this guy here, and then we probably want to try and take out as many of these branches as we possibly can. So then we can set up some more defenses up here once this Calyx starts to wither and decay. Speaking of which, we're going to need to get our power systems further up as well. Yeah, it'd be quite nice if you could just kind of like click and drag this so it like goes to the end of it, sort of like a
Always ready.
yeah, like a creeper world kind of style of with the sort of the pylons, or I'm trying to think what other games do it. I think quite a few games do it, but the thought process is escaping me at the moment. We failed in that light move. I think it's because we're trying to move in the Calyx, but we've managed to take out these bits here. With these medium tanks, if they can just focus fire down these branches, with the artillery we'll kind of focus fire these bits down, but I'll also get them to move up ever so slightly. And we'll actually micro this mobile repair bay, because what I want to really do is I want to make sure that we have the power coming out to over here, so that we can secure this area here. Right, light tanks, you move up. We're going to want to get some defenses up over here if we can. Get ourselves a little lob turret. We'll build ourselves a gate as soon as we kind of clear this area out, and for that we might need to do some more clearing out of these guys here. Yep, good job. We'll move up our medium tanks. We'll keep on moving up our light tanks just so they're continuing to fire. We're not taking any damage. Ah, there's another one there. I thought you artillery were dealing with that. Get that done with, please. We'll move up our rally point. That should be that done. Let's get ourselves some defenses here. Build ourselves a little gate. Like so. A wall. Get ourselves some more turrets here. We can get ourselves a lobbing turret. That's not ideal. We lost that turret there. That's okay though. That's just because we've got this little spitter. Alright, artillery, you deal with him, please.
Always ready.
But you guys are in range, but obviously not. We've hit our command limit, so that's not a problem. We can come over here, and once we have the resources, we can unlock the command upgrade, and that'll be quite useful. The main thing that we're doing here is we're using up our walls to basically block off this area here, because this is where the other green Calyx is going to start to expand into. Meanwhile, we can focus entirely on pushing out this purple or pink one. And we've also even unlocked another mining spot, which is fantastic. So with our exporters, because we're actually doing decently enough on credits, I really want to get that upgrade. Let's actually say at least we have at least 600 minerals before we can start to export. I think that's more than fair. Keep on moving up, using our light tanks to cover our advance from the creep, while we shell the spitters from afar with the artillery. Good stuff, and the medium tanks are doing their best to just kind of blast away at large chunks of the branches and such. Keep the mobile repair bay moving up just to keep everything looking in tip-top shape. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive with our artillery here now. Perfect, we've even got an additional artillery. Good stuff. Let's get them moving up and we can try and see if we can clear out these branches over here as well. That'd be even better. Now, these light tanks, keep them moving up. Yep, just cover up these medium tanks best you can. Good stuff. We're now basically there. We've nearly gotten to this more dangerous Calyx, and then from there it's just a quick jaunt down to the other one as well. Good stuff. Alright, light tanks, move up. Let's get this perimeter sorted out. Medium tanks, get yourselves up. Artillery, begin shelling. I want this thing dead now, please. Thank you. Speaking of which, let's get ourselves another bit of artillery. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Got it.
Medium tanks, you just shell this thing, please, and thank you. Light tanks, focus fire. Bring it down, bring it down. There we go, we can be home by Christmas now. Good job, men. Okay, that's 2 of the Calyx dead. And probably actually the harder one, if I was to say so myself, is also dead as well. Now we've got a very quick blitzkrieg down over here. So let's do it. I don't even think we have to really worry about anything else, to be perfectly honest. Let's get this mobile repair bay up as well. Still can't deploy this unit, so let's actually upgrade our command points so we can get some additional ones. Our light tank's doing a really good job here of keeping this moving up. We'll get artillery up fairly close to the front line, just so we can try and take out as many of these branches here as soon as possible. Let's get these light tanks moving up. Medium tank, keep blasting away. Good stuff. Artillery coming to the newly opened up area. We might want to actually sort of spread out these light tanks ever so slightly more, just while they're able to take this out. We'll move 2 guys down here. I think that'll be good. Do we have any stragglers around? Doesn't look like it, but it looks like we've got some more artillery that's been made. So that's good. Let's keep on keeping on. Alright, light tanks. Keep on moving. Medium tanks, you keep going. I want these branches shelled by the artillery. Now please, thank you. Make sure to update the rally point. Let's get our repair bot over to here. Good stuff. Let's also shell this kind of branch over here. And we'll keep on moving down. It's happening. It's happening. We're doing well. We're nearly managed to get it. You can see here that for the optional objectives, we've managed to not lose a single unit. We've kept the hostiles under 88%. And we've nearly managed to complete the game in under an hour, which would be fantastic. Let's hope we can complete all 3 optional objectives. If we can, then we get the title of True Gamer. Or something like that, I don't know. Either way, let's keep on pushing forward. Medium tanks doing a really good job. I didn't really rate the medium tanks last time I played. I was mostly using artillery, but you know what? These medium tanks have been very, very good. Just for having like a solid front line that can push in up in with the light vehicles. They've been really nice. We're actually going to get a couple more. Might as well. Got the minerals for it. Near the end of the game, we don't have to really put up any more defenses as far as I can think. We're actually even going to get this artillery. If we can get it up and we can just start bombing out these kind of branches here, that would be fantastic. That would really make it easier for us to push up. Medium tanks are obviously doing a great job at like actually just clearing it out, but if we can get it to start to wither, that would also be really nice. We'll get our mobile repair bay up as well. More artillery on the way too, just to kind of help soften these things up. Right, start launching. There we go. Boom, boom. Actually doing some nice damage to the plant itself and withering away the defenses. Keep going, men. We can do it. Don't worry about the encroaching doom there from the side. I'm sure we'll deal with that in time. Actually, the medium tanks can do that. If they just shell this area here, break off this branch, boom, there we go. We're fine. Take out the branches. Take out the branches, men. We'll be okay. Light tanks, I want you to secure the perimeter. Let's just shell them. Bring it down. And with that, victory is ours. Fantastic. What a lovely little game. Looks quite nice, quite fun to play. I really like the idea of the sort of like organically expanding plant matter as your sort of tower defense objective. It's like it doesn't have the fluid dynamics of say like Creeper World, but it kind of makes sense as well that it's kind of nice sort of organic kind of enemies. You've got things that shoot back at you as well from the pink Calyx too. Overall, a really solid demo for what could be a really good tower defense game. I would definitely suggest if people kind of like the look of this or they're thinking of trying it, have a look on Steam. It's free. You can download the demo now. I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to be very much looking forward to seeing this game in the future. Who knows? Maybe it'll I don't know when it's coming out, but hopefully it'll come out soon. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to support the channel, consider becoming one of the Burger Band for early access to videos as soon as they're uploaded rather than when they're scheduled to come out, and also some additional benefits. But more importantly, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I know this one's been a long one, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. And until next time, take care.